Blessed day here at the track. Welcome. We are finally reviewing the G80, which I'm very excited about. These cars are very digital in the sense of they're a cheat code. So Justin, you may or may not have seen, he had the M240 X-Drive, which we did the M240 X-Drive versus the M240 rear-wheel drive video. Justin upgraded to a G80. First question, Justin, is this a manual?
Stick all the way.
He's keeping the dream alive, folks, which is, we don't need a competition, I want this. However, it's gonna do a lot of the downshifting and everything for me. I know we could turn off rev matching, but today we're just gonna be setting some laps, giving some good impressions, seeing how the car actually feels. If you can feel anything in this day and age of being numb, every day we stray further away from the light. But there is hope. A little bit about the car if you want to tell us about it.
It's a 2023 G80. I spec'd it out with the carbon bucket seats, carbon interior. I got it because of the stick. I was afraid that it wasn't going to be around very much longer. And in fact, last month, we weren't able to order any more G80s with a manual stick. I got my dream car. 20 years in the making, but I got it.
I was able to order this car from, just kidding, I just took notes and basically was an order taker like I am at a restaurant or something when I did
very
work.
good at it.
The spec is very minimalist, manual, carbon bits, and that's it. No BS. Oh, an executive package, correct?
Yes, sir.
So yes, executive package. Does that have active cruise control?
No.
Okay.
Not with the stick.
Which is interesting. I'm gonna go on a side quest tangent here. My buddy with the Honda Accord 2.0 Turbo, which you may have seen that video, has a stick shift and it has adaptive cruise control. These are the things that Beamer does, just little things. We're not getting any paywalls, luckily. You haven't been paywalled yet, right?
Not yet, because I got the executive package.
Awesome. Are there actual paywalls?
There will be, yes. 2026 or 2027, I'll have to pay for stuff.
By 2027, Justin is going to have to pay for driving his manual transmission. It's going to automatically turn into an automatic since his paywall will be blocked for the transmission. We can go on for days about the quirks and features. I'm not here to tell you about that. We're here to drive.
Hell yeah.
So let's go take it out. Nice little warm-up lap. We're not going to do anything too crazy the first lap. Try to get everything nice and hot. So Justin, tell me about the tires you're running and why.
So I'm running the front stocks are the PZ4s, Michelin's. Came from the factory. They still have a little bit of meat left on them. After the last track day, I actually picked up a puncture on the right rear, so I switched the rears to the Michelin Super Sports. Haven't been super happy with them yet, but I think I'll know a little bit more of how they're going to feel after a track day today. They just feel a little mushy compared to the PZ4s from the factory.
Yeah, they are just a tad mushy, and we're going to start picking up pace, as you can probably tell here. Not the Caterpillar, buddy. All right, so this engine, S58, just keeps trucking. This thing is an absolute freight train. It's a disgusting motor, and this car is so stupid fast. Just so stupid fast in a straight line. So we're starting to lapse now, but initial impression of steering, extremely light, very digitized. Not a whole lot coming through the steering itself, but this chassis is so damn good that you can feel everything. That's one thing about, I always say about BMWs is the chassis on the cars are just amazing. The chassis tuning is bar none, some of the best. Nice little rotation in. Sorry, a little bit too much throttle. That's not fast. So that MDM gives us just a little bit more slip, which is great. However, we don't want all that slip. And the brakes are phenomenal. Brakes are phenomenal for stock brakes. Woo, that is fun. That is so much fun. And this, I'm gonna tell you this right now, as fast and as visceral as this car is, out of the box, very easy to drive just because, again, it's communicating very well. Talking. So we're going to get a few more laps, but overall, this car hides its weight extremely well. It's very twitchy, which to me is good, because usually I don't want a piggly car, but I know when you start pushing this car a little bit more, you start feeling its weight a bit more, which I haven't felt, so that means the limit's very high. And it's pretty easy to keep nice and tidy. Gets a little upset every now and then, but nothing too crazy. We're gonna keep it in third for this just because of what happened last time. There's no need for going into second. Keep it in higher gear just because the throttle is extremely punchy on these cars. Going for a good time here. This Miata's fast in front of us. Very fast. I smell his brakes too. That Miata is a 2.5 swapped Miata that's been built to like be an absolute track weapon. Just doing a little bit of chase, little pressure. Thank you. Yeah, those super sports in the back are very slippery.
Right?
They definitely are slippery. I hear them like gripping for dear life. So I'm gonna be candid with y'all. I've already driven this car when we had the PS4s last week, and on this track I set a 126, which was great. Today the conditions aren't the best. They're not bad, but definitely not the best. We're back in the second, just because homie's on my ass. I don't want to get up in front of him, and we're pretty much done. God, this thing is just so fast. You really want to stand on those brakes. I'll say the brake modulation is not that great because it is like, it's brake by wire, and the feedback isn't consistent. That's the only thing. It's not a consistent feedback. You like don't know if the brakes are just getting too hot or what. Yeah, these super sports in the back are not nearly as stable as the PS4s, which is it's a thing. It really is a thing. And I am driving pretty aggressive today. I'm not being super smooth. I'm trying to be smooth, but it is tough. But overall, this car is phenomenal. Very fun, extremely fast, communicates extremely well. Watch out, birds. Just giving a little slip. But yeah, we're running 130s today, which again, I ran the 126, and Justin finally broke his 120 cherry and got into a 129, I think 0.8, correct?
0.7,
129.7. Excuse me, 0.7.
This is my very last lap of last time we were out.
Very last lap of having those sweet, sweet PS4s. He was working. I put him to work. He was working in that little thing. He was on my ass though. He was there. Had to check the footage, see the tape, roll it back. He's right there.
Roll it back, coach.
You don't mess with Miatas on the track. Just don't mess with Miatas. Like, don't do it. Final thoughts. Would I personally own this car? No, I wouldn't. Nothing against the G80, but if I'm looking for something like this, probably go for an F80, just because the F80 I know has a little bit more weight to the steering. Is your steering set to Sport Plus?
Yes.
Wow, there is like no weight in the steering, which is, for me, not necessarily a bad thing anymore, just because I'm so used to Numb steering nowadays, but I want to feel something. I'm dead inside, and I need to feel something, and this doesn't help me out. keeps me dead inside. Overall, fantastic car. I would put it in S tier. I'm gonna put it on a lower end of the spectrum of S tier, just because like the steering really, like, that's all these new BMWs, overboosted steering. That's one thing about his M240 was the overboosted steering. However, again, tangentially to that, the chassis itself is amazing. Again, you could feel everything that the chassis is doing on this car. Now here's the test. Getting out of these here carbon buckets, which are, you know, they're deep and they're not that bad once you learn how to get out. I mean, the first time I got into one of these, I crushed my boys on accident. Like, I pinched my boys, brought on this. So just a how-to, like, you want to basically like do this number here and slide over. I don't even know if you can see that, but slide over it and then just scoot your ass in. Of course, everyone has their own way of getting in these, but just as a precaution, if you get these seats, ingress and egress is just going to be a little bit of a chore, but once you're in there, man, do these hug you really nicely. But overall, thank you.
Hell yeah.
How do you feel about just feeling from the passenger side of these?
Mush.
A little sketchy?
Little mush.
Just a little sketchy.
Yes.
A little sketchy. So again, Pilot Super Sports and then PS4s. PS4s are better because they have a little bit of a stiffer sidewall. These ones, I can definitely feel the sidewall rolling, which is, it's fine. It's fine. They still grip really well, but they were this is definitely, like, I don't know if you felt the stability, but it was kind of dancing a bit more. Like, yeah, coming out of a corner and trying to line up to the next, it kind of would shift really quickly. But again, it's not anything that's not unmanageable. It just depends.
It's a different feeling.
It's a different feeling. Overall, an amazing car. You're gonna get an amazing driver. You can drive to the track, do your thing, stun on some hose, and go back home. Just, it's a great car. Stupid fast. The S58 is the pinnacle of BMW powerhouse engineering in terms of a street car. That being said, the G80 is amazing. The thing is, for me, it's a little too amazing. It's a bit more digitized. This car is a digital experience, and you can definitely tell, straying further away from the analog experience. However, you have the manual shifter. And that's one thing that car enthusiasts such as Justin, we all need. And we need that to stay as long as possible, even if the car is a mild hybrid, let's say. Who knows what the next NE Miata for electric, NE for those of you who don't know, might be a hybrid, and that's fine. I digress. Please keep the manual in it. I know you will. BMW, bless BMW and Porsche and Honda, all these players that are keeping manuals in their car. I'm not gonna get into a tangent again. I'm gonna cut myself off. Great car, insanely fast. You're not gonna tune this car, are you? There's no need to tune this car. The fact that you can flash the ECU and get 550 rear wheel horsepower, that's obnoxious. That is anywhere eclipsing 600 horsepower. You don't need all that. Of course, don't listen to me because I drive one of these, so neither here nor there. Comparing from my M2 competition to this car, very similar driving experience. The M2 competition, now that I think about it, I could definitely feel more chassis flex compared to something like this. So the chassis is much more rigid, much more taut. The engine is still as punchy as ever. Gearbox on this feels really nice and notchy-er in a good way, because I know some people think notchy gearbox not a good thing. This is definitely more communicative, I should say. It seats in really well. My M2 it's very floppy. BMW shifters have so much travel, but it seems like they've tightened this up a little bit more, and it just is really, really satisfying to shift. Do you have any last impressions?
It's a phenomenal vehicle. I love it. Hope to get a lot faster with it in the future.
You will.
Get down into the 126s, hopefully.
He will. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to strong arm you, but thanks for being here. Until next time, bye.